that you see within this group of applications, either through your general discussion or in written assessments for board consideration. We would greatly welcome your input, and we would value any suggestions and recommendations that you'd like to make to the whole grant proposal evaluation process. My role is basically timekeeper. I'll tell you when you've been talking for 2 minutes, and then again at the 8-minute interval. That's about all I really do here. And I am a non-voting facilitator whose job is just to ensure that each panelist's point of view is given ample consideration throughout the review of each application. I start the meeting, I end the meeting. Panelists should focus their deliberations on how each application's proposal meets the established review criteria. The chair may occasionally need to refocus the panel toward that end. Panel discussion should always be constructive, regardless of whether it is positive or negative. At the December board meeting, I'll report the panel recommendations, and a written record of these recommendations and a summary of comments will be provided by staff to facilitate that process. We greatly value constructive comments and remarks on each application. The panel discussion is recorded and made available via the Wisconsin Arts Board's YouTube channel to all applicants when they are notified of the outcome of their grant application.
Thank you, Susan. I'm going to jump back and we're doing orientation, obviously, before intros. And I'm going to visit the aims and objectives of this particular program panel. And I'm just going to make sure all the audio is doing what it needs to do, and it looks like it is, which is great. The Creation and Presentation Grants Program provides artistic program and operational support to establish nonprofit arts organizations whose primary mission is to create or present ongoing arts programming that makes a significant local, regional, or statewide impact on the cultural life of Wisconsin and furthers the Arts Board's community development and arts education goals. While I was doing my live stream issues, dealing with those, Susan, you didn't review the goals of the program, did you? I'm going to do it again if you did. They are to promote and sustain art of the highest artistic quality, to promote and sustain organizational and financial stability, to ensure appropriate long-range planning, ongoing assessment and evaluation, community input, and sound promotion as approaches to increasing the effectiveness of arts organizations, to increase local, regional, and statewide leadership among arts organizations in Wisconsin, to increase audience participation in and appreciation of programs created and presented by Wisconsin arts organizations, to help arts organizations articulate the value of the work that they do and the impact of that work on community and economic development to their local and state officials and to the people in their community, and to encourage arts organizations to work to enhance arts education efforts in their community. They are many goals, and they are essential to the long-term vitality of arts organizations, which is why we put them out there as such. I'm going to visit right now the role of staff real quick. I can answer technical questions like eligibility issues or whether the applicant submitted the required budgets. Did this applicant ask for assistance from me in the grant writing process, etc.? I cannot make any qualitative artistic judgments or tell you what I think of their work. In terms of criteria, each application will be evaluated based on the purpose and goals of the Creation and Presentation Program, and specifically on the following 4 criteria areas. 1, artistic educational cultural value. 2, organizational and financial management. 3, community participation and accessibility. 4, planning, evaluation, and documentation. In terms of the scoring recommendations, you will be asked to score each application individually from 1 to 100. However you score, please be consistent throughout the morning. Don't score hard at first and then get easier, or vice versa. And at the end of the meeting, the panel scores will be averaged and announced. If the applicant has received less than 50 points, they are automatically taken out of consideration for a grant in this year. You will not be asked to deal with dollar amounts. That is our gift to you. Susan, you want to tell what's next in the process?
Sure. As noted previously, the panel chair, me, takes the panel recommendations to the full board. After review and ratification of the panel's recommendations by the Arts Board members at their meeting, applicants will be notified of grant decisions by mid-December. And then the conflict of interest policy. You've all received the conflict of interest form in an unlikely circumstances that you have been asked to review an application or an organization with which you or a person with whom you have a familiar relationship are associated. We ask that you withdraw from all consideration of that application. Staff will place you in a Zoom breakout room. Are we going to do that this time?
You know what? That's a great question. And I'm going to interrupt for just a minute and ask Amy and Chella, have you had a chance to send in your conflict of interest form? I don't believe I have seen it. And I want to make sure it's not in my junk folder.
I am sending that over right now.
Thank you. And Susan, you can review that with me and we'll just, I'll go through it and you can be assured that either there are no conflicts or we can identify where the conflicts or perception of conflicts rest.
Okay. The panel should not take any action on any application with which would financially benefit a member of the advisory panel or someone with whom a member has a familiar relationship. Panelists should be upfront about their ability. I'm having a little trouble.
Ability, yep.
The ability to judge an application objectively. The perception of conflict should also be considered and avoided.
Thank you. Yeah, the word familial is also a challenge for me, Susan.
Yeah.
Recording of the meeting and appeals. This meeting is being recorded and live streamed because it is an open meeting. And as I say that, I wonder, is it really being recorded or have I not done that? Do you know what? It is live streamed, but it is not yet recorded.
And it is live streamed, but it's not public. So it's a private link. So I don't know if Dale and I found the link, but we can't access it just through the general